New year will be great. Leave this year behind in the rearview mirror. It wasn't so bad, though. You've been selling 142 homes a day this year, so that's not bad. Also, should I better do a tech check? Gosh, I should always do my tech check. I always think this stuff works all the time. Testing. Yes, it's working. It's working. Cool. Today I have a class. I see not a lot of people online yet. There we go. Some are coming on. We have a class today, the law class with 3 CE credits, 10 to 1. It's not too late to sign up. You need to sign up like before 20 till, well, before 9:30 probably, because Kane has to get you all together. Thank you, Karen, she's my tech check now. I love it, Karen. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyway, the law class is the Attorney General's online one. Starts at 10 o'clock to 1, 3 CE credits, free lunch. And then I want to remind you that next Monday we have the contracts class, and it is also 10 to 1. That's November 8th, Monday, and it's the new buyer brokerage class that Jimmy developed, and it is really good. It really gives you great insights into buyer brokerage and to determine whether or not I know a lot of agents don't use buyer brokerage agreements, and perhaps this will make sure you know why you do or why you don't. And it doesn't hurt to learn more, to earn more. So having said all that, you can Zoom these classes, so you don't even have to come into the classroom, but we always have a good time in the classroom, and it seems to fill out pretty good, and then we have free lunch. So away we go. I know we're experiencing a little bit of difficulty with these videos that I'm showing you. I'm clipping the videos off of the main video so that we just have snippets. So today, after we talk about Zillow and our market, I'm going to play the video, and this is really a good video. The gal that does 2 markets and how she does it, her name's Kari, and I may just let it fade away because I can't connect when it stops on Facebook and when I need to stop on my computer. It's a glitch right now, and Kane is helping me try to figure it out. But for today, that's the way it'll go. So when the video's over, I will not be here to say goodbye, basically. All righty. So, well, we have done 336 sales already this month, the 3rd day. That means in the first 2 days, actually, that we did those, right? So that's pretty cool. And we listed 71. We put 108 under contract. We closed 110, and we have 25 days of inventory. The $1 million homes are still selling 4+ a day. The inventory's hanging in there between 12 and 1,300 sold. And the inventory's around 490 to 510. I've seen it fluctuate in those areas. So the non-owner occupieds this quarter have bought 1,714 homes, and that's going to be. I'm going to segue right. Oh, my poor puppy. I'm going to segue right into the topic of the day, one of the topics of the day, the news alert, if you will, alert the media. We have our friend, say that, tongue in cheek, Rich Barton. Rich Barton is the CEO of Zillow, and he has decided to put a halt on his home buying business and lay off 2,000 employees as its big real estate bet gets shaky. I posted in the group the article from GeekWire, and it includes, if you scroll down to the bottom, it includes his letter to the shareholders. Now, here's my take on this before we get into the video that this is his interview with CNBC. So here's what he did. He actually created Expedia. Well, Expedia, and he put many airline reservationists out of business. And Expedia, you see the list and you pick, okay? You don't need anybody to help you with that. With Netflix, where he sat on the board for 20 years, still on the board of Netflix, transformed them into where they are today and basically put Blockbuster out of business. List and pick. How easy is that? That's not rocket science. Now he gets into the home market and he thinks that it's list and pick. Well, it isn't list and pick. With homes, people want to explore the homes online. They want to educate themselves online. They want to be able to navigate the transaction with a trusted realtor. And that is not going to work for Rich Barton. This is not list and pick. This is not list and pick. Good morning. Good morning. Love my Facebook users. Thank you. This is a totally different business. And I think he's finally seeing that. And his tech fuel bid to shake up how people buy and sell home is coming to a surprising end. You know, the Seattle online giant said today it will shut down Zillow Offers, its iBuyer platform that aims to digitize and accelerate the home buying experience. Now, approximately 25% or 2,000 people, I guess he employs about 8,000 people. So he's laying off 2,000 people as a result of the Zillow Offers closing down its doors. The company will take a write-down of more than $500 million related to the shutdown. Wow. The decision is a remarkable reversible from the company's home sales operation that represented a fundamental shift away from Zillow's core business when it began rolling out in 2018. So Zillow is pinning its future on Zillow Offers. I could see that. You could see that. And beyond its core business as a home price estimate platform and lead generator for agents, which is what it was, it veered away from that. So it originally projected annual revenues of $20 billion by 2024. That's my spam caller every day, right? I need a reminder. Hi, Debbie. Good to see you. Anyway, where was I? So it originally projected annual revenue of 20 billion with a B by 2024. Interesting. It's just really interesting that he thought he was going to grow that big. Do you know to count to a billion takes 31 years? It does. Just a bit of trivia there. So 5,000 home sales per month, right, from the home flipping program, which was built as a way for consumers to avoid the hassle, time commitment, and uncertainty of a traditional sale. Oh my goodness, can you think of that? So here's what he said. Also, he said, we've determined the unpredictability in forecasting home prices far exceeds what we anticipated, and continuing to scale Zillow Offers would result in too much earnings and balance sheet volatility. He said that in a statement. Again, Expedia, list and pick. Netflix, list and pick. A home, totally different ball game, Mr. Barton. Totally different ball game. Let's listen to what he has to say, and then we may have some more comments. So here we go. Let's pray it works.
Me on, Wilfred.
So let's talk about exiting the Zillow Homes business and the home flipping as we just described it as. Is this a sort of full-scale admission that you should never have gone into that business line in the first place?
It was a really tough but necessary decision, Wilfred. And I guess first and foremost, the decision to wind down our Zillow Offers iBuying operation involves a layoff of about 25% of the workforce. And that is a heavy thing given all of the people involved and all of the work they've put in. And we're committed to a smooth transition there. So I just wanted to say that up front. But this was a necessary decision. We just determined that being an iBuyer was too risky, too volatile, and ultimately addressed too few customers, too narrow.
So I mean, I guess some could have suggested to you before you did it that it's going to be volatile and unpredictable and obviously change the sort of predictability of your earnings flow. So to what extent was this a sort of I told you so moment to some people that said that in the first place?
I'm sure there are those that told me that, and I'm sure there are those out there wagging their fingers at me right now, and justified. We went into the business as a big swing, on the bet that we could actually predict the price of a home 6 months into the future and do so with a very narrow margin of error, and have our hold times be very short. And what's happened is COVID happened. We've had a global pandemic. We've had a housing market that froze up initially. And now we've seen a growth rate, an acceleration rate in the housing market that we've never before witnessed in history. And as you might imagine, that has made predicting the price of a home 6 months into the future really difficult. And we're doing it at a scale that is 1/10 what it needs to be in order to get to the scale we think we need to achieve to offer good prices. So we stepped back, we assessed, we looked at the volatility in our earnings that we're reporting today, and we said, hey, we don't need to be doing this. We sit in a privileged spot in a mover's decision-making process. We get a good look at all of these movers, and we now have a whole bunch of tools that we can get them to move in a more asset-light way.
So as a result, so Bloomberg's reporting today that you have 7,000 homes to sell for $2.8 billion, and that you're pitching it to all sorts of institutional investors. Can you confirm that? And separately, a KeyBank analyst said most of those homes are underwater.
Well, we have always sold the homes that we've had in inventory in all ways, including the regular market and including to these kinds of buyers. We've always done that. And we are not, I will tell you, we're not in any kind of a fire sale move. We're not in a big hurry to sell these homes. We're going to do it in an orderly fashion. These are appreciating homes. They are real assets, and we will wind down our inventory in an orderly way. We are in a big hurry. What we are in a big hurry to do is get them ready to be sold, to get them closed, to get them renovated, and to get them back on the market.
There we go. Anyway, I've never been a fan of Richard Barton's, as you know. And I get back to, he's got $2.8 billion worth of homes, and a lot of them are underwater because he overpaid for them. Now he has to renovate a lot of them. And I believe what the reporter was meaning about also being underwater, he financed a lot of these, which he's not really talking about, but he used the cheap money that there is right now, you know, the low interest rates, and in his flipping strategy, whatever that might have been. He says, well, there's not enough product. I don't know how many movies there are, but I believe we sell 6 million homes a year, which is 12 million sides. I think that's a lot of things to pick from. And he just can't do what we do. Richard Barton can't recreate what we do. We are independent contractors. It's hard to make us employees and be able to brand ourselves and have people want to do business with us. It's a people-to-people business. It's not a pick and list, a list and pick. It's explore, it's educate people, and then it's navigating them through the journey of home ownership and then staying in touch with them and helping them. There is more to this process than perhaps he looked at. He was looking at probably the bottom line, and you can't just look at the bottom line. And next year, that's what I want you all to do. We're going to do exercises in the next couple of weeks to help you decide what you're going to do between 2022 and 2026. But this has been big for us for our future. We're taking one of the big players out of the equation. Now, Open Door and Redfin, you know, they say they're fine. They're doing their thing. Their thing really isn't what doesn't have the business strategy that Richard Barton did. So we'll see how far they go, because they're borrowing money. They're becoming like to me, they're like real estate trusts with what they're doing. So I could go on about this. I've studied a couple different articles from a couple different papers. I did put the one that I thought was the best, and that is the Geek Wire, and it's in the group. You please read it, and it's a good day in real estate. It's a good day in real estate. So having said that, we have another class to watch today. Let's see. Did I get that? Hold on, let me make sure we have the right one. Okay, I think he's leaving and she's coming. Hopefully it uploaded the right one. We're going to try it. Let's go.
Keri, yes. Keri. All right, so Keri, first of all, I feel like I should do I need to make... Keri. All right, so Keri, first of all, I feel like I should do I need to make this taller? The table taller, is that better?
Yeah, exactly. Or I need a phone book or
there you go. Yeah, we might need the Apple Watch. All right. So, Keri, tell them who you are, where you're from, how long you've been in the business, and where you're working now.
Okay, Keri Emery. I Dallas, Texas for 24 years, which is exactly how long I've been in the business. Matter of fact, it's where I went to my first productivity school in 1997 and signed up for coaching right then and there on the spot.
Yeah. Yes, Steve Almonte, your first coach. Yeah. I remember.
He made me cry. He was hard. He was a hard coach.
He hasn't changed at all.
No, he was a great coach. And then I'm sitting here with my other previous coach and my new coach. So
yes. All right. So now, but you made a move also. You're a dual agent.
I am now. I am working the Breckenridge, Colorado market. Vastly different from the Dallas market.
Yeah, in about a million different ways.
I've been there about a year, and I am still learning. I still feel like I have a long way to go, but it's a fascinating market, and it's kind of good to see something totally different because when people move to Dallas, most of the time it's for a job, but there it's for a vacation.
Second home
resort market. Yeah, it's definitely different because they don't have to move there. They can pick Jackson Hole, Wyoming. They can pick Park City, Utah. So
it's 1,000% emotional.
Exactly.
There is no data or math in second home purchase.
Exactly.
It's just like, oh my God, I can see us here. Let's go.
Exactly.
So what do you want to talk about today? What's your big aha you want to share with everybody?
This isn't really an aha. Well, it should be an aha because I have done this my entire career. And I'm shocked and now even learning in moving to different markets and a lot of agents don't do this. To me, it is about relationships. My clients, when they first call me or when I get referred somebody, it's not about, what they're looking for. I take the real estate portion out right off the bat and I focus on them. Tell me about your family. Tell me about the things your family likes to do. And then I can help guide you to where you're going to get the most lifestyle out of wherever you live. And I did that in Dallas and I'm doing it in Colorado. So that's been, and it's building relationships and when you do that, when you start off making a friend, the trust factor is immediately really high and getting them to sign the contract, getting them to listen to how you negotiate for them is so much easier. And I have lifelong clients that are friends, client parties. And as a matter of fact, my client parties were so engaging for everybody there that 2 years later, two of my clients walked in together and I'm like, did you guys ride here together? And they're like, yeah, we're friends now. We have coffee together all the time.
Isn't that great?
So that's what I'm surprised how many agents don't do that.
So is there a script or a method that everybody's got a play that they run, right? So you're not asking 16 random questions on one meeting and then asking 14 totally random questions on the next. Mm-hmm. So what are some of the questions that you're asking to create that? And what do you do when you have the person that is all red and you say it says, be brief, be bright, and be gone, right? Yeah. I'm not sure if that would resonate. Yeah. I'm not sure if that would resonate for me, just being totally honest. So tell us about your experience with that.
Well, it's like I said, it's just when you meet somebody, I genuinely want to know, tell me about your family, For example, last weekend here in Dallas, I had a referral from one of our agents in Seattle, and they were coming here. And after the third house that we looked at, he said, tell me what the weather is. Is this normal weather for September? And I'm like, oh, no, it's actually a really nice day. It was 90 degrees, no humidity.
He's coming from Seattle, and he's like, it's really hot outside.
Yeah. And so he ended up telling me that he goes, this isn't going to work. This is too hot. And then I adversely said, what about Colorado? temperature's great all the time. Even in the wintertime, it's not that, I mean, 30 degrees when the sun is shining and you're at 10,000 feet is really not that cold.
I know.
Had no idea. So
She keeps calling me when it's like 3 degrees, and she's like, but it really feels like 50. Let me mention that she's wearing a winter hat every time she calls
that's
me,
in the
even in the
wintertime.
house.
So for the record, again, for the people that are watching or listening, the one thing I said to everybody is there are no rules. We're just going to have, this is just battle rapping for, best ideas. So you get this emotional connection with them because it obviously, it removes sort of the salesperson relationship.
Exactly.
You remove all the guards away from them.
Yeah,
And now you
absolutely.
just have an honest conversation.
And I'm genuine about it though. It's not a canned script or anything. I genuinely want to know. Tell me, do you have dogs? Are they big dogs? Do they like to play outside? Do you like to run with the dogs? Or I genuinely want to know because that also help.
But it is a script. It
Well,
might not
1,000 I know
sound
it's
canned,
it's
a script.
1,000%. This is like if anybody read the book, and if you haven't read this, it's an older book called Soft Selling in a Hard World. Remember that book? And it was all about if you just get to know people, right? The whole time we were like, do you have dogs? Oh, we do. All right, you're like, okay, do they need a small yard, a big yard? Like you're assessing everything that they're giving you. So give us like 5 questions that you think most agents don't ask.
I don't think they ask what their clients' kids' names are or their dogs' names, and I do. I just this morning I was scrolling through Facebook and there was a client that was at a football game yesterday in Kansas City, and I said, "Man, Jackson is getting big. He's really growing," And I remember from when he was born. So anyway, I ask questions, ask their kids' names, their dogs' names, what they loved about the house that they're selling, or what they loved about where they lived and why they're moving here. What choices, what has caused the move to Dallas or Breckenridge, actually. Breckenridge is a little bit different story, but it's...
Is your brain a CRM or do you have a CRM that you put all this? Like, where does all this information go?
my brain.
Okay, Frank, what are you going to say here, man?
This is a quick question. One of the questions that I feel like a lot of agents miss is how much time do you spend looking for a home?
That's a great question.
Why
Why do you ask that?
Because it gives you some insight into what their mindset is. Are you spending a lot of time? Oh, we're spending every weekend looking for homes. We've been in Zillow every weekend for the last 6 months, or when we get time.
So
that tells me a lot.
Does that tell you that they're maybe not that motivated, or?
To me, it does.
Yeah.
Why?
It could say they're not motivated. It could say they're just that busy. But I feel like
That's
you make
what
a
I was
priority.
thinking of, like, are they just too busy so they need me to take it on? But you...
Well, I mean, if you think about it like this, anything that's really important to me, I make the time for it.
Yeah.
And so busy or not, we find the time for the things we care about. So it just gives you a little insight, I think.
Love it. Love it. So what's the advice you have for everybody? So you said one is like, kids, but back to the question about CRM, is that like, do you have the ability to just remember all this stuff? Or do you actually put it into a CRM so you're like, what was that person's dog's name?
No, sometimes I actually remember. There are a few people though that...
I have to add this. In my phone, it says, big fat lady with mole, right?
Yeah.
I save everything, so the phone rings, and you got to change that after you get to know them.
Yeah, yes, you definitely... Could you imagine if you text that person and it actually shows that? That would be horrible. It does, by the way, Jill.
Okay. So no, I do take some notes. I take notes, but I'm also friends with a lot of my clients on social media.
Okay, but at scale, how many transactions a year? Like, it's your biggest transactional year. How many transactions?
Just myself was maybe 62.
So 62 transactions, 24 years, even if you just average 30 a year or 15 a year, that's a lot of people to remember. Now, one thing I noticed about great agents is they have these incredible memories for either people or houses. Like they remember every house or they remember every human being. You sound like you're more the people person.
I'm the people person, but it's also because I call them often. So I have conversations with them, even when they're not in the market to buy a house. It's like, hey guys, how's it going? I noticed you were at the football game yesterday. Sorry for your loss. My team won. It's having conversations.
How many people do you talk to from your database on a weekly basis?
I talk to 14 to 20 people a day, 5 days a week.
14 to 20 people a day. Why are you doing that?
Why not? I mean...
No, I mean, but okay, so one of the things we're talking about is, there's a
He has
massive...
very little social life.
That is kind of a true statement.
Yes.
There's a little bit of that.
Wow. Tell us more about that. So 14 to 20 people a day. So one of the things we're talking about at the summit is if you look at the data, the research, basically, like, we loved our agent. And 68% of the time, the agent either never follows up, breaks trust. They love on you nonstop as you're about to buy the house and you close the deal and they're gone.
And that's why I do it, because I to my knowledge, I've maybe lost, I've lost a few good clients for random reasons, but it's definitely not for my lack of follow-up or my lack of checking in. And I know this because I work with a lot of other agents and clients.
Here comes your coach.
And they're like,
right. So address what you do with the realtors, because she not only builds relationships with her clients, but she's also very good at building relationships with other realtors.
Thank you, Keri. This has actually really been more true than ever, and I didn't realize how much this was going to be helpful in my change in markets. So. And it all started out by accident. I mean, a really good friend of mine, Missy from Jacksonville, Florida, she had posted a story of being in Vail, and I was at 5:30 in the morning, and I texted her at 5:30 in the morning, which fortunately she's a morning person, so she responded right away. And I was like, "Oh my God, you're in my area!" And so I said, "Hey, let's come by, let's have breakfast." Now I am reaching out to more and more agents and letting them know personally, hey, I'm working the Breckenridge market now, and I would love to help your clients. Tom Ferry ecosystem, how, the agents, we work hard together. We work hard to make you look good. So that's been a new twist on my business is just reaching out to other agents. And
we talked about that when we were in Denver, like that was going to become a major. So how many agents do you try and talk to? For every person that's listening, like agent-to-agent referrals, it's always in the top 10 of sort of deal flow, et cetera, amongst our client base. Keri?
What about your VIP party?
The one in Denver?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited about this. So
I'm going to put Keri over here. This is way better.
This is so exciting. Okay. So after your event, and I just tried to meet as many Denver agents as possible because 50% of our market up in the high country comes from the Front Range. So
that sounds very local. The high country, they come from the Front Range. Yes, okay, yes.
Yeah, that was the first two things I learned when I moved.
It's like me saying y'all now.
Yeah, exactly.
I got you.
So anyway, I ended up meeting with a lender, a little independent lender, small brokerage in Cherry Creek, and we're doing a deal together. And she had commented, she's like, "Where are you from?" And I thought it was because, my accent. And she said, "No, it's the way you handle your business." And she said, can you come to Denver and let's have coffee? So I did. And we had a long conversation. She said that she used the word refreshing to work with a realtor who is on top of things, communicates, explains things to the client, even, stuff that, she didn't get around to explaining just yet from the loan portion side of the deal. Anyway, so she said, I said, "Can I sponsor a breakfast or a lunch at one of your guys' sales meetings? Let me come and meet some of your loan officers." She said, "I'll do you one better. Why don't you give me a list of 20 agents in Denver you want to connect with, and we will host a cocktail party for you."
So how'd that work out?
Oh, we're doing it in November.
Okay, coming up in November. Yeah. See, for everybody listening, that's a killer idea. I go back to, if you ever meet Patrick McLaughlin, right? He's from the Hamptons in New York. So kind of similar strategy. Like he's like, "How do I grow my business?" I'm like, "Well, where do all your business come from?" He's like, "Agents in New York City, consumers in New York City that want a place in the Hamptons." So like, "Well, why don't you go do sales meetings at your brokerage?" You work for Douglas Elliman. I'm like, "Just go do sales meetings and do Hampton updates." As soon as he started doing those Hampton updates, the referrals would just come in left and right. "Oh, I got somebody in the Hamptons. Who's that guy that brought us all that value? Send that to Patrick." Big shout out to Patrick, by the way. Long-time client.
Yeah, this is
very smart.
I just have to say, Patrick is having his best year ever this year. He's going to be earning over, I'm coaching him too, but he's having a fabulous year. He's going to he's already earned over $1 million this year.
Yeah.
He's having a great year.
Big shout out to, make sure you text him and tell him we're talking about him. All right. Okay. All good things. All right. So So put a bow on this. It's all relationships, it's all connecting, and it's clearly all having a memory and having no social life. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, pretty much all of that. Yeah.
All right, okay, you're out. So, wow, exactly. All right.